Hello, welcome back to NPC Stories. As we all know, adventuring can be a lucrative business. In fact, it is the gold and the loot that motivate a lot of characters to start questing in the first place. But what do they do with all that gold at the end of the day? That's right, this week we're hitting the stores to meet some shopkeepers. If there's one type of NPC that your PCs are almost guaranteed to run into, it's a craftsman or a shopkeeper. Whether they're looking for armor, magic items, potions, scrolls, traveling gear, the best place to start is usually at a shop. This week I'll be introducing you to 4 shopkeepers and their 3 different shops. Donovan Vest runs a smithery called the New Moon. He is a wood elf from the Silva clan, who I did a video on previously, and he has an odd talent for fashioning weapons and armor. He crafted what he could with the resources in the forest, came into the city, and caught the eye of the former smith of the New Moon. Donovan was taken on as an apprentice despite his age and fell in love with the work. He loves crafting things of beauty and purpose and takes great pride in knowing that his work is saving lives. But he also feels shameful that he left his people and his culture behind. The New Moon provides the highest quality weapons and armors to the nobles, the city guard, and anyone else who can afford it. Most of Donovan's armor is practically similar to other sets of armor, but much more attractive and beautiful. But he has developed a technique for creating lighter and quieter chainmail, and unsurprisingly, he makes the best longbows in the city. The building itself is a simple-looking low stone building, but the inside is bright and clean. The front room serves as the store, where many of the weapons and armor are on display, and it's where deals are struck. A large archway behind the desk allows the customers to get a peek behind the scenes. Donovan is of average height with all the muscle that comes with laboring in a forge for most of your life. He has auburn hair and red eyes, which he hides behind tinted glasses whenever he's making deals, because he's found that some people find them off-putting. He wears common clothes and a thick leather apron that is scorched in some places and soot-streaked in others. He is proud of his work and knows what it's worth, but his soft-spoken and kind-hearted nature make him prone to cutting deals with those who really seem to need it. Steinarchus Tassinus always introduces himself by his full name. Depending on who you ask, he is extraordinarily lucky or unlucky. He was the sole survivor of a werewolf attack that wiped out his entire halfling village. After leaving, he joined a band of adventurers for their company and protection, and was the only one to survive when they took on a mission to fight a lich. Eventually, he found and married the woman of his dreams, only to have her contract a disease that killed her shortly after their wedding. Driven mad, he wandered aimlessly until he found a cleric who offered him a place to stay for the night. The next morning, the cleric offered a goat that would bring good fortune to Yenos in exchange for all that he had collected throughout his adventures. Yenos felt that he needed some good fortune and accepted. He traveled with his new companion to a large city, where upon stepping through the gates, the goat rammed into a fleeing man who happened to be an assassin that had just failed to kill the king. As a reward, Yenos was given enough gold to buy a shop, which he named the Goat and the Cleric. Goat Companion stayed with him until it died, and now he wears its lucky skin, while its descendants guard the shop inside and out. Yenos is happy to tell this tale in its entirety to anyone who asks about the shop's name. The Goat and the Cleric is a house of oddities, buying and selling almost anything. Yenos often hears rumors of nearby items of interest, such as a bag of tricks, or an immovable rod, or some particularly shiny rocks, and he will pay handsomely for any adventurers to go and fetch them for him. The shop is made of wood and stone and is just one large room. The entire space is filled with tables and shelves that are piled high with a mix of treasures and junk. And, of course, 3 goats climbing the piles like they're the mountains of their homeland. Yenos himself is an older halfling, having just had his 100th birthday. He has gray hair and green eyes and a tendency to talk with his hands. He will tell customers wild tales of each item in his shop, even if he's already told them 2 or 3 times before. Navin and Navin Vindex are high elf twins. They studied wizardry at a nearby college of wizardry and graduated with identically high marks. They performed magical odd jobs until they had saved enough money to buy and open their shop, Noctua Orientalis. They both specialize in enchantment magic and scroll creation, and so that is what they sell in their shop. The building itself is a 2-story stone building kept impeccably clean by a staff of unseen servants. The first floor serves as the shop and is filled with shelves and glittering cases full of fantastic-looking items and beautifully crafted scrolls. The second floor serves as a sort of workshop storage space and also as the apartment where they live. Navin and Navin look identical. Even people that know them have trouble telling which is which. But they don't take offense to these mix-ups and politely correct the mistake. They are both shorter, with strawberry blonde hair, green eyes, and fair skin. They wear form-fitting robes that accentuate their hourglass figures. They both know that they are beautiful and are happy to use that to take advantage of customers. Navin knows that she is powerful and prefers to show it off. She is friendly and is likely to approach customers first. Navin knows that she is powerful and holds herself with that confidence. She is more soft-spoken than her sister and will not speak to customers unless spoken to first. Whew, what a long day of shopping. Shopkeepers fall into the category of non-combat NPCs, which means that most of them don't have a class. Navin and Navin are obviously wizards, but Donovan and Yenos are good at what they do, and not a lot else. As such, there was going to be a lot of empty space on their character sheets, so instead I included some information about their shop. As always, I hope this was somehow helpful or inspiring for you. You can let me know by liking this video, and if you want to see more NPCs in the future, go ahead and subscribe. You can also find me on Twitter at NPC Stories, and if there are any particular kinds of NPCs you want to see in the future, comment down below. Join me next week as we get a little closer to the gods.